Three,
Three,
two,
two,
one.
one.
Hi,
What's going on?
hi. Hello.
How are
What's
we?
going on? Um, we're good. We're pretty good, man.
That's good.
I'm excited for this episode. I think I'm
Yeah,
really excited to
we've been talking about this one for a long time.
We've been talking about this one for a while. We've had a few scheduling conflicts with because we are approaching the end of the month, so we're glad
Yeah,
that we're actually getting the episode made.
yeah,
Um,
yeah.
but
Just in time.
yeah, just in time, man. This is the only day of the week where our
Schedules align.
schedules align.
Yeah.
Jinx. But yeah, no, I'm really glad we're talking about it. Obviously, it's a really big topic today. Obviously, for people who are newcomers to this channel, at face value, we seem like
Yeah,
we're
average nerd.
average nerds, and don't be wrong, we definitely are. We got the
Yeah.
drip today,
Oh
and
yeah,
it looks
of course. Yeah.
spicy as hell. We got to rock our heroes.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, me and Mr. Toby Mills are equally as passionate. Sorry, can I say funny?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay,
Yeah,
cool.
that's cool.
Are equally as passionate about comics, about mental health than we are
Yeah.
comics,
Especially men's mental health. Yeah.
especially men's mental health. Obviously, this is what we're celebrating this month because it is Men's Mental Health Month, and we want to bring awareness to just just people suffering in silence, or
Yeah.
feeling that maybe this could like this episode could serve as a safe space and a reminder that people go through this stuff every day, and and we go through the stuff like every now and then as well, and
Yeah.
it's a very common thing amongst men, and especially in today's society. Of
Oh
course,
yeah, with social media and all that. Yeah.
social
It's
media,
just,
which
yeah,
is true.
horrible.
Yeah. But yeah, it's it's an interesting change of pace for an episode. We usually put out movie reviews, and we put out
Yeah.
rankings and and just book recommendations, which
Yeah.
is
Our
great.
Comics Corner as well.
Which
Yeah.
is
all
great,
that.
which is
Yeah.
got comics corner as well. But we kind of want to delve in today, just about men's mental health, and specifically as well. I think what I want to start off with is
Oh well, before we get started, we should get out of the way. Obviously, if you
We
are
should.
no big news, David Cornsett is the new Superman,
this is true,
which is
okay.
awesome, which is great. Obviously,
Yeah.
Rachel Brosnan is the new Lois Lane.
Yeah.
We're super excited for it.
We're over the moon for it, yeah.
We're over the moon. We fully trust James Gunn what he's gonna do. But we'll save all of that for next episode, which will be our Superman Legacy episode.
Yeah.
But obviously, I just want to get that out of the way because obviously, all of you will probably be wondering, like, what do
It's-
you guys
it's
think?
that- It's the hope for a better tomorrow, man. You know what
Right,
I'm saying?
exactly, yeah. Yeah,
Real,
it's just
real.
in time for this episode because
Like
obviously
an
Superman
mentality for real.
one of, like, especially for me and Liam, is a big inspiration for us.
Oh yeah, 100%. I mean, yeah, Superman's an example of resilience and perseverance and optimism, and it's obviously with Toby. I mean, Toby, you model yourself after that character
Literally.
in a lot of ways, and you take a lot of cues from that character. It's similar to me with Spider-Man, and yeah, there's a lot of fictional characters that we look up to, and
Yeah.
people are like, oh, you're such babies, like they're not even fictional, but like these fictional characters have treated me with more respect, it feels, than most people
Literally,
these
yeah.
days.
And I think
And,
today's episode will definitely break that down, that
We will,
entire
yeah.
kind of concept down.
Definitely, yeah, definitely, because it dates back to early youth as well,
Yeah,
and just kind of characters like that being a safe haven where we can wind down, and yeah, it's just I think it's a beautiful thing. I think it's a really beautiful thing. Doesn't matter how old you are. It's good to have role models like that, and
yeah,
that's
literally.
just how I look at it. Yeah, but yes, it's a it's weird because I'm used to when we talk about this stuff, I'm very much used to talking to like jumping to a topic and a topic and another topic, but we only have one topic.
Yeah, literally. Yeah, it's very
But
broad though.
but it's good. It's a great topic to go over. And I think especially like talking about our journeys as well, as individuals, is I mean let's point out the elephant in the room. It is difficult.
Hard as shit out there, man.
Life is so difficult, man.
Nobody said it was going to be easy.
No, and that's incredibly, that's the biggest understatement ever because, life unfortunately doesn't slow down for anyone, and
No.
some people have to maybe grow up a little bit too fast and accept some responsibilities and be burdened with that sort of stuff, and that's unfortunately when we're younger, this picture of our future is painted and it's all like it's all hopeful and wonderful and lollipops and rainbows, but when you sort of like come back to reality and you actually get older, it becomes a little bit more monochrome. But that being said, just because that might be the gritty reality of the world doesn't mean that we have to give back what we're receiving.
Yeah, no, exactly right. Yeah, I'm 100% with you with that.
As much as because this world is very cruel, man. As unfortunate as it is, and as much as I wish it were different, unfortunately, people do have to resort to certain things, and I unfortunately, I've been me and myself, because I kind of want to put this out there, have been a victim of bullying. And a lot
here,
of 100%, just because I might look a certain way. I had for
certain
example
interests
yeah exactly, but I also
especially in today's age with social media, a lot of people are getting targeted
yes, this is
for
true,
their interests, which is really shameful. So I thought we'd move past that.
that's it.
I think something that it is a very tricky subject, but I thank you to certain Kryptonian has really opened my eyes to that, which is I made a video as well about it, about men's mental health. I did something about reaching out, and I said I'd rather you cry on my shoulder today than plan your funeral next week. And then someone commented it and then said I would rather men's mental health over the LGBTQ, and I thought that really annoyed me because there's a lot of men who struggle with coming out in the LGBTQ community.
That's exactly right. Yeah, because like there are so many men who, I choose to look at it like this. Imagine putting yourself in someone's shoes who, let's stay back a few years when men, let's say in the early 40s, I don't know, as a random example.
1900s.
1900s.
Yeah,
1900s.
Late 1900s.
Because back then, the LGBTQ and, being queer was, it was frowned upon, and it wasn't.
Yeah, in some countries it was illegal.
In some countries it was illegal.
Yeah.
So the thing is, what gave me a sense of more understanding is imagine being in a situation where you are forced by people who want to peer pressure you into marrying someone, or having an arranged marriage, or just doing what feels acceptable to society. Imagine having to conform to a relationship and never bring yourself to fully physically or mentally love that person. And that's unfortunate, because how many homosexual men unfortunately and women as well had to live that lifestyle. That's not a way to live, man. You have to be comfortable in your own skin.
I bet it's so uncomfortable.
It is, like you gotta be so
like wearing a shirt too small. It's just uncomfortable.
It is, and it's just, it takes away. I mean, love is the most valuable thing, and it's the most powerful thing to come out of life. So it doesn't matter, like how you want to express it. Expressing it is the healthiest thing to do. So I think people just really need to learn to be happy with themselves and don't feel that that they're strange or weird. It's their way of expressing love, and if they want to express it, and unfortunately, because many people have committed suicide because of harassment and bullying for what they want to wear or how they want to express themselves. And it's tragic. When you look at the statistics of it, I mean, these are just kids. the half these
literally
people are just
younger than
kids.
us. I mean, we're 20,
Younger than us.
21, 23.
We're 21,
Yeah.
23, and it's just like, oh, the statistics, they blow my mind.
Yeah.
It's so
Crazy.
tragic
16,
because
17-year-olds just like,
this is beautiful life that is being
yeah.
thrown because
How
someone
bad
doesn't.
do you have to ruin it for someone?
Yeah,
For them to end it at 16,
they're just.
17,
I mean, they're just
like
starting.
Jesus Christ.
They're just starting their life. You know,
Yeah,
like
literally.
they've got, and it's just that that's discovering themselves, and it's like, you just I don't know, but people just can't. Sorry, it's my girlfriend. But yeah, it's just tragic to me, man. It honestly is, and it's sad because sorry, 1 second.
That's all right. That's okay. I will tell a story though, similar to that a certain Kryptonian told me in one of his comics. Was it was a short story about a kid. He just says like, I find it hard to be my real self, and I find it hard to just be me. And then he sees on the news Superman says to the world, he goes, I'm actually Clark Kent. He goes, I'm a reporter for the Daily Planet. And then the kid sees that as such motivation. He comes out to his family, religious family.
That's Superman Red and Blue, isn't it?
Yeah, Superman Red and Blue. At the very end, I think it's the last story.
Yeah, that's a great book, that is.
And then he kind of like rips open his shirt like Superman, and it's an LGBTQ flag. And he goes like, Dad, I'm gay. And I thought that really kind of opened my eyes because I've never been in that situation before.
Yeah.
And I didn't really know much about that situation and that type of kind of life.
Yeah, lifestyle. Yeah.
Yeah, and then that story really opened my mind up. I'm like, holy shit. Because I thought, for me, like, who's never been in that, I thought it was just a matter of like, Dad, I'm gay. And then like, okay, that's cool. But then that was really like, damn, these people actually really struggle.
Yeah.
To really come out and just be them. You know?
Yeah, exactly.
Like it and I think it's hard. Like I've been told this, and I think you've been told this as well. Something similar to that is when people just tell you to just be you, but some men find it so hard to just be themselves because with society, there's this idea now, and especially with social media and TikTok, especially, has ruined it, and that a man has to be like the Andrew Tate type of mindset.
Sigma male.
Has to be Sigma male. Has to have
commentate W.
I know. Has to have like have to make 7 figures a year. Has to be like and something that really frustrates me with that I've seen a lot of men, I think, in the gym and on social media and even around our hometown of Adelaide is a lot of young men at like 16, 17s are just like putting themselves through like just unnecessarily bullshit because they see Andrew Tate go, if you aren't doing this now, you're worthless. You mean nothing. Your life is nothing if you don't make 7 figures by the time you're 18. And then I'm like, damn, like I remember when I was 16 and I kind of did that. I kind of like was trying to find something, to make myself really early on.
Yeah.
And then when I got out of school and got into the real world and got a real job and was making money, I thought, none of that shit matters. Like, I just kind of get to the point now where I just want to, I just want to live my life, I just want to wake up and just kind of fucking read comic books, play video games, hang out with my friends, and just kind of like, just do whatever the fuck I want,
and do podcasting as well.
Exactly, podcasting as well. Yeah.
People so many people just look at guys like us like nerds and just like like video game enthusiasts and just like comic book lovers and and we just love the genre. And it's funny how people regard that as losers because that's how we choose to express ourselves and that's how we're comfortable and that's what brings us happiness, which is the most valuable thing a person can feel.
Exactly.
I would not. The thing is, like, money doesn't make me happy, man.
Nah, neither, dude.
Look. I mean, it helps. It definitely helps.
Yeah.
But I mean, money for me is just something that can. Give you, it factors into happiness. It gives you a home, it gives you a mortgage, it gives you, it gives you all that stuff. But at the end of the day, for me, it's just a piece of paper that controls people's lives.
It controls. Unfortunately, it controls everyone now.
It does.
We've built a society where it does, and I had an opportunity to go to another job, and I turned it down. And then I had someone tell me that I was an idiot. I could have done this, and then I would have made $200,000 a year, and I would have done that, and I could have done that, and I could have like jumped up, blah blah blah, at this job. But then I was like, oh well. So what if I miss 200 grand a year? I'm happy what I'm on now. You know what I mean? And I didn't, I don't want money. I don't want $1 million. I just want to live my life. Just want to be happy.
That's it, yeah, 100%. And I mean, it's just people feel that they have to put limits on, or like time limits on their success. It's like, or they have to have it all figured out by the time they hit 18 or 21, or it's
from two people now who have been in the workforce for 4 to 5 years now.
Oh wow, yeah.
It doesn't matter. You don't need to figure out everything now when you're 16, 17, or just about to leave school. You don't need. You have so much time.
You can't rush content. You can't rush contentment, and you can't rush happiness. I feel, I just, it's everything's a process, man. I mean, like, I'm going to the gym, and like, obviously I have a dream physique, and it's like, I'm not like in a rush to get it, but I realized that with practice and with exactly. I realized that with time and with patience and with practice, like I can be, like I can improve myself. I don't, the thing is, a lot of teenagers, they view the gym as, I go to the gym because I hate myself.
Oh yeah, all the Z's, Trend Twins type of gym goer guys. Yeah.
I just like, it's I'm not sure. It's
all the
just,
villain arc stuff.
The villain arc.
I hate
stuff.
the world, so I'm gonna go and lift, and I'm gonna hate everyone. And
it's just it's very it comes across very chip on your shoulder. It comes across very like, I mean, it's just these people are so young. It's like, like life hasn't touched you really. Like,
no.
I mean, I'm. That being said, I'm sure a lot of people who are age or maybe younger have had unfortunate circumstances, maybe in their youth. But it's like, unfortunately, the crushing reality of life, having to take on, massive responsibilities and stuff. It's like these are like 12-year-old kids, or like late 12-year-olds, like late teens,
15, 16,
exactly,
18,
who are just like, almost, it feels like just finding an excuse to be angry.
Yeah,
in reality, you have no excuse to be angry. Like, enjoy yourself. It's not gonna last forever.
No, exactly. And I think something that we learned from these kind of heroic characters that a lot of people find boring now, like Spider-Man, Superman, Nightwing, Captain America. It's something that we've learned a lot from them. Is like, we see a lot of these young teenagers kind of do this villain arc, and they're angry, and they try to find something to blame. They find it super hard to take responsibility for what they've done. Like, let's say it's a breakup, right?
Yeah.
It's a breakup. They made a mistake, right? But they don't want to admit that because it's easy. It's just easy to be angry. It's easy to blame someone.
Yeah, exactly. It's easier to like just go on an angry rampage because that's what numbs the pain. Also, I don't know.
Exactly, and it's easy. But something that Superman, again, this great character Superman told me was he was talking to a young Billy Batson. And Billy Batson says, like, why is it so hard, like, to be a good guy? Everyone hates the good guy. And Superman says, because it's hard work.
It is,
if it was easy, everybody would do it. But unfortunately, it's easy to be cruel and mean and to be selfish and to be angry.
Yeah. Absolutely.
But he goes, the only way you can grow as a person is if you take responsibility, and you open yourself up to those ideas.
Exactly.
And I've made a few TikToks now where, like I did one the other day, and I kind of poked fun of people going through the villain arc.
Yeah.
And then I put a bunch of other stuff, like I trained to be a better man, I trained to be the strongest version of myself, to be a better leader, to be a better man for my family, and everyone was commenting like selfish and cringe, and someone said gay.
Okay.
And I was like, sat there reading it, I was like, damn, how much hatred can you have? And I was so sad to see people that
these people have probably been hurt as well.
Yeah, they've been hurt. There's been a breakup, something's happened.
And they don't know how to deal with it. So they wanna take it out on a stranger over a phone.
Yeah. Exactly, but it frustrates me so much that, like, when you try to talk to these people and you go like, look, like, you gotta take responsibility for what you've happened. Like, I've had people, they've had breaks up and they've gone, oh, fuck that bitch, man, she did this, she did that. And then they tell me what happened, and I'm like, that's kind of your fault. you know, whether you want to hear it or not, that's your fault. And that's the only way I think you guys, men out there listening to this, can grow, is if just take responsibility for what you've done.
Exactly.
Because not only if you do that, you can inspire so many other people to do the same.
Yeah. I think taking accountability builds so much character. I feel like
literally.
I'm not the same. Now look, I don't really feel that I've earned the title of man yet. So I'm gonna say I don't feel like I am the same person I was 3 years ago. I don't really feel like people call me a young man all the time, but it's just I just feel like I need to, I'm not perfect. I need to figure myself out, and I need to deal with stuff better myself. So I think right now, seeing myself grow from, the boy I was, and just seeing myself progress, and to one day reach that, just like that state of mind, is just, it's nice to see. I think because when you're a teenager and when you're young, obviously your emotions are on hyper, your hyper emotions, and you're always angry and you have a chip on your shoulder, and I understand that because that was the sort of person I was. And you rebel against, and you don't want to respect authority, and I mean, the lack of respect in today's society is it's actually shocking compared to the previous generations. And you know what? It's not even teenagers anymore. It's like it's
people older than us.
People older than us who are acting like teenagers.
Literally.
But I personally, I always choose to see the good in people, and I feel that's a really, really hard thing to do.
You have to. It is.
You have to. As much as people can be sour and people can be cruel, and there's a quote from one of my favorite characters, and it's, the best way to defeat your enemy is to understand them.
Literally.
And I feel I have that approach myself to people. As much as it's definitely difficult in today's society to work with a few people. It doesn't matter how old or young they are. Some people can be really difficult to work with. But I tell myself, it's like, I don't really know their story. I don't really know where they're at. I'm not saying that excuses their entire behavior, but I think someone needs to. I actually go out of my way to help, sort of if I'm being mistreated, I always want to try and get through. I guess I really want to make people feel appreciated, because the people that don't care typically are the people that cared too much once. So
literally.
I kind of look at it like that, and people, these people get surprised, like, why are you being so nice to me when I'm acting so vile to you? That's
the right thing to do.
That's the right thing to do to me. I'm that being said, I'm not going to let people walk all over me. I'll have some self-respect, but I don't need to lash out and wish death upon these people because they looked at you
the wrong way, or they said the wrong thing, or
exactly. It's just like
there's no need.
Exactly. It's just, for me, it's just forgive and forget. It's like, and I just choose to understand where they're at. And because I mean, I don't know. It's helping myself as well with that sense of understanding and peace with myself. I don't have to go on a whole rampage like, oh, I'm gonna sue you, and you're an absolute piece of this and that. I don't want to swear because it's a podcast, but I think just having understanding and a sense of empathy, I mean, it goes such a long way, man. It really does, and you're helping yourself in the process too.
Exactly, and that's what I mean. I think doing this, you can grow so much, because if you go down this kind of villain arc, like we were saying before, it's like you're turning your back on the world. And you're kind of going, I don't accept the world this way.
That's it.
And you just make up this own version of the world, and it's like, that's not going to help, because you're going to be severely let down, and then you're just going to go spiral down.
Because it's sorry to cut you off, but
that's okay.
I think a lot of young people, early teens, I think the influence of social media, they feel they need to speak to people a certain way. They need to be aggressive, and it's poisoning. It's
It really
actually
is.
if
It is.
I honestly think social media is the biggest virus to spread. I feel like
It's the worst invention slash the best invention ever made.
yeah,
Like it
100%.
really is.
It's a blessing and a curse because it brings people together, but with what is, I mean, on social media, happiness is presented as a product almost.
Yeah.
I feel I feel in reality, happiness is nothing but a choice. It's a state of mind, and it comes from a lot of things, mostly self-forgiveness.
Yeah.
I found that out a little too late, but
I found that
self-forgiveness,
out the hard way. So
yeah, self-forgiveness does absolute wonders. It really does. I think just I think dwelling on mistakes for a certain period of time, and just looking and just like cringing at yourself constantly, and like why did I do that? Oh, and just having to worry about like what happened in the past, and just not really like living in the future, and then or sorry, living in the moment, and then you think about the future, and then you think, oh, like, will everything be okay? Am I going to have a secure future? And then you worry about that, and it's like, how can you be happy if you're worrying about what's past and what's coming? You don't know what's coming,
Nah, nobody does.
My future, where I thought my future was going to go last year, has not gone the way I have thought, and that's okay. I'm not mad
Yeah,
about
I'm
that.
the same. Yeah, I thought my future was going to go
Yeah,
one way, and it
very
didn't.
different. Yeah, exactly. I mean, you probably didn't even predict we'd have a podcast going on.
No, neither. No, that's what I mean. So like, you got to look at the future as exciting. You don't know
Yeah,
what it's
exactly.
going to offer. I mean, like,
It's up in the air. Like, just have fun while you can.
exactly. I mean, like a certain Kryptonian has taught me. Just look forward to the better tomorrow.
Exactly, yeah. And we
You
can
know?
make tomorrow better, like, just if we wanted to. We can choose to wake up every day, and we can choose to be sour and, just like want to bring people down. But, I mean, like I said, happiness, I feel, is a state of mind and a choice. It's a choice we all
Yeah.
make. It's not a product. It's not something that, people have to earn. People deserve to be happy. Absolutely. That's without question. People deserve to be content and happy. Because we only have one life to live, and I would like to live it pretty happy.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Now, I'm not saying that like you have to accept the bad with the good, because if you don't take in tragedy, or like losing someone close to you, or just having a traumatic experience, if you don't take this stuff in, you can't
You just
fully,
choose to turn your back towards it. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's always going to be there.
but you have to, as unfortunate as it is, it's inevitable that these things are going to be experienced, but you have to really like take in the bad times to really fully come around to appreciating the good times, because then you understand the
Yeah.
value of it, and then you appreciate it more, I feel. And I think that just that fact alone is something that really just gets me through day by day,
Literally, yeah. And
day by
that's the
day I
number
gazed
one.
upon her.
That's the number one thing, I think, more than anything, that like I think like Liam said at the very start, like Superman, like literally every single day I learned something from him, and like I've
Yeah.
literally kind of based my whole personality and my whole kind of
Yeah,
all that around him.
mine's Spider-Man.
Spider-Man, yeah.
And
I've
Larry.
literally based everything around him, and
Mm,
that's kind of the biggest lesson I learned from Superman, was
yeah,
kind of like start appreciating things a lot more, start appreciating life and just how really good it is.
yeah,
And I said to Liam after we finished last week's episode, I said to something that I've learned from Superman recently is like when I'm having like a really bad day at work, like it's busy and it's tough, and everything's gone wrong, and
yeah,
I always kind of look to Superman and kind of go like, what would he do, or how would he act in this situation? And something that gets me through every day now is that at the end of it, it's like I get to go home. It's
That's
not
it,
only
yeah.
it's not only like the shift's finished, I get to leave this place. It's more of like I get to go home, I get to be myself, I get to do the things that make me happy. And then tomorrow's a new day, and I get to I get to come home again tomorrow, and I get to come home the day after that.
Exactly.
And that's something that's got me through every single day so far, is the fact that I get to come home.
I think I really want to bring this individual up because he's not actually fictional. This man is an actual person. Whoa, crazy change of pace for our
Yeah,
podcast.
yeah.
But someone I feel is a necessity to today's choice of discussion. Um, Obviously, a lot of people may know him. Not a lot of young people may know him, but I'm a really big admirer of Mr. Fred Rogers myself.
Oh
Um,
yeah.
I think he is just a prime example of having a gentle nature and having
Literally,
empathy and
yeah.
understanding. I feel, and just kindness as well. Um, there's a practice of his that is so simple, but yet so effective. Um, and there was a film recently, there was a biopic about him that came out with Tom
The
Hanks.
Tom Hanks, yeah, that was gonna
Yeah,
say the Tom Hanks one. Yeah.
which is a fantastic film and definitely a tearjerker for anyone. But pretty much there's a practice he preaches about that, close your eyes for a minute and think about the people that have loved you into being you, you know?
Yeah, literally, yeah.
And I had a really rubbish day today. And on the way home, I was thinking, damn, it's like yeah, I've had a really like rubbish day and I haven't really enjoyed it, and it was a bit, it was a chore to get through. But I mean, there's so many people in my life to be grateful for. I think of my friends. I think of, my
Yeah.
my family, my brothers. Yeah, just the people that fully just love me into being the best version of myself and support me. And I get, and again, I just have, I've realized like I have the best friends I could have asked for. Like
Literally.
these people aren't toxic. These people are accepting. These people are just like, they're not perfect, but it's like I'd never want them to be because their
Yeah.
imperfectness is the most charming thing.
Is the best thing of it because at least they're just being them.
Exactly. Yeah.
They're just being them, and when I'd rather be around people like that rather than pretend to be someone else when they're somewhere else, and then behind closed doors they're someone completely different. Like
Exactly. Yeah.
I'd rather just someone just be you, and just don't really give a shit about what other people think.
It's good to
keep
have genuine people as friends.
Yeah.
And it's good to have, that river and just like, of so much river. Did I say river? It's good to have that like, that much love and support flowing your way, and just because you'll always have your homies and you'll always have your family and you'll always have your bros, and you'll always have those people, and it's just I choose to recognize it every day because it helps me get through my day.
Literally, yeah.
And gets me out of that depressive state of mind, and it's I've got love and I've got everything I need. I mean, I've got water, I've got food, I've got a roof over my head, I've got a bed, I've even got a girlfriend, right? Which is crazy. I've got everything, that I need to get through and to come out the opposite end happier. And to me, that's just a wonderful thing. And I realize that every day. My head's crazy. But yeah, I just think, Fred Rogers was an example of, to me, personally. Now, people think that, people like Andrew Tate are the pinnacle of what a man should be.
Oh yeah.
I think I disagree, man. I disagree.
I
And
disagree.
look, I,
big time,
I, I
man.
understand that men need to be men, but men also need to accept, that they can be loving and caring and compassionate.
Well, that's cool. If you follow us on Instagram, that post you put on Instagram today with Henry Cavill. was
Henry
great.
Henry Cavill is a magnificent, like, not only is he a fantastic Superman and soon to be hopefully a fantastic James Bond,
Yeah.
but he's an incredible example of a gentle giant. He is, to me, what every man should aspire to be. And Toby, I obviously know you can back me up because it's facts. But
Henry Cavill's one of my when you look at role models, like real life role models, not fictional ones. Henry Cavill is definitely one of them for sure. I
Henry
look up to
Cavill
Henry
is your
Cavill all the
fictional
time.
and in real life role model.
Yeah,
like,
literally though, literally
just
Henry
such a
Cavill.
beautiful
Yeah,
thing. But yeah, I choose to focus on people like that personally. I don't, just worry about, being a, kickboxing champion and being all, I mean, masculinity has healthy masculinity. I feel is the way to go. I feel like not feeling like bringing people down, and just like having to feel like, yeah, I'm the best and I'm all buff and everything. Like that's what a man is. Okay, cool. But I personally like, you know, I keep away from that sort of stuff. That's actually why I deleted TikTok, because
Yeah,
I
that's why
felt
I got
that,
rid of Facebook and
yeah,
Instagram.
there's
Yeah,
just so much. Yeah, it's crazy what social media just throws at you and presents
yeah,
that as, yeah, this is what, like, this is the blueprint of what you should be as a man. This is the blueprint of what a woman should be, and it's just it's rubbish, man. And because a lot of men in today's society, I mean, when you look at the statistics, now I don't want to start any arguments. I will say, as much as this is Men's Mental Health Month, women also struggle as well.
yeah,
But when you look at the statistics, I mean, so many men
yeah.
have chosen to take, unfortunately, the easy way out, because they've been made to feel like they have one purpose, and that is to, just shut off emotions completely.
Just provide, like all it. Just
Just
provide
provide,
money,
just
food.
provide. Have that
Yeah,
routine of your life, and just like don't show love, don't like show any emotion whatsoever, and just be angry and loud and everything, and you're a man.
something that
That's not the way to go. It's
no,
really,
it's something that Chris Rock said. Which I don't know if you might have seen, which is great. He goes, women and dogs are the only two things that are loved unconditionally.
mm,
He goes, men are only loved unconditionally when they provide something.
mm,
I thought that's very, very true. And I guess kind of our age and the younger age, their dads, like, I mean, or we should say our dads and kind of their dads before, um, grew up in that time where it's like, men don't cry, men should know how to fix a car, men should know how to build something, men should do this, men should do that, men like just need to provide, they need to work
mechanically
60 hours.
minded. Yeah, that's right.
They need to work 60 hours a week to provide food on the table,
Yeah, that's it.
and all that, which like, and I guess like our dads kind of grew up in that era, kind of 60s, 70s, 80s,
Yeah,
is,
they did. Yeah, that's right.
and I remember my dad kind of telling me a lot about that, like when I was a kid, I was a nerd. I wanted to stay inside. I wanted to play with the action figures. I wanted to watch,
That's it.
Spider-Man cartoons. I wanted to draw. I
Mm,
wanted to play video games. Um, and my dad was like, "No, you can't do that. You have to be outside. You have to play sports. You have to, ride a bike. You have to learn how to
mm,
fix a bike. You have to ride your bike all the time." And I used to
mm,
hate it, man. And the thing about sports, which is really funny, is something that, he forced me to play soccer. He was like, "You
yeah,
have
right.
to play soccer," like, because he grew up loving soccer. He played it all the time, so he
Right.
thought he could implement that on me.
Yeah.
And then I absolutely hated soccer. And then when I got into high school, I fucking love soccer now. I love it. Me and massive soccer fans.
Yeah, that's
Um,
right. Yeah.
but I just find it really funny how you just kind of come around 360 with that.
Yeah, that's it.
And I was very lucky to have a mum that just kind of like just wanted me to be happy. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? She didn't care
for
that I
sure.
was inside playing action figures all the time. She
Yeah,
didn't care that I was playing video games all the time. As long as I was happy and enjoying myself and
that's it. Yeah.
just being me, that's
I
that's all
hated
that
soccer.
matters.
I hated soccer during, like,
Yeah,
I was brought up that in a school environment there, where if you didn't play any sports or any soccer, you were just irrelevant, and just
yeah, literally, yeah.
and that's why I
I think
spent
very much
majority.
in Australia as well. That's a
Yeah,
massive
definitely,
problem
yeah.
because Australia's a very sporty country.
It is. Oh, absolutely. Yeah. I'm not saying, like, it's just personally, I respect, like, if that's your thing, that's your thing.
Yeah,
If you want to go play soccer, like, do it. If that's
footy,
if that,
rugby, cricket,
yeah,
whatever.
exactly.
Yeah,
Do whatever sport you want to, like. But if that's your thing, that's your thing. But it's just, it never was and isn't mine. I mean, actually, that being said, hockey's pretty cool. But I think in general, like, it's always that stuff. When you're a kid, I feel that, and I was always the kid to just, I don't know, stay in the library and just, I don't know,
literally, I used to go in the library with my friends and like we would play games on our laptops, or we would talk
That's
about
it,
kind
yeah.
of like, like the new MCU movie
That's
came
it,
out,
yeah.
or the new Batman vs Superman came out when I was in high school. So
For sure, yeah.
it was all about kind of that, and something in high school that I think a lot of teenagers should know now, that I kind of suppressed a little bit my nerdiness
Yeah.
because I got bullied about it in primary school.
Yeah, same. So did I.
So I kind of suppressed it a little bit because I wanted to fit in
Yeah.
and not be regret, right?
Yeah.
and then I left high school, and I still kind of suppressed it a little bit, and then I realized I was like, damn, nobody actually cares. Like, in the real world, nobody cares about what your interests are.
Yeah, that's right.
So I just wanted to let people know that don't suppress your nerdiness or don't suppress your interest to try and fit in.
That's it.
Because at the end of the day, it doesn't matter.
You're the only individual that can, truly be you. Like, so
Yeah,
it's just
literally.
putting on a mask and pretending to be this false identity because, like, oh yeah, like, okay, yeah, I love I must like child studies, or I must be a mathematician, or
Yeah.
I gotta like
I have to
fake
go to uni to get a
lovingness,
master's or some shit like that.
um, yeah, it's like just some people just have this, false like identity and just this way of they feel they need to live their life because that's what gives them fulfillment and that's what makes them popular. When you graduate, that social hierarchy that
Yeah.
you are trying to climb and that you are trying so hard to be relevant, that's not going to get you a job. It's not going to
No.
get you and it's definitely not going to get you contentment.
The real world really pulls a Thanos and just goes, that social hierarchy
Yeah, pretty much.
just disappears. It just disappears. It's not relevant.
I honestly am a thorough believer that just being popular in high school gets you nowhere.
No.
It really doesn't. And
Gets you a few fake friends.
it gets you exactly, and you mix with the wrong people. But if you do that and you recognize that and you identify that, and that's my sister. Then you come out the other end realizing that okay, I need to be around the people that actually appreciate me, and I realized that as soon as I think I hit maybe 19. I think.
Yeah, I would say the same age for me as well.
Yeah, it's just I finally clicked and I was like, I mean, wow, I wasted so much time around these people who just wouldn't do what I did for them back, and it just really goes to show. And it's just not saying that these people are horrible people. It's just that they're not my people.
Yeah.
And maturing is realizing that that's cool. Go find your people.
Yeah, literally. I think a story that Liam would I think me and Liam tell each other all the time, and I think it's the same with John, is like how we kind of met and became friends. So I think we explained it in an episode before.
We have, yeah.
But like we both kind of felt like but Liam put it the best way is like we were in a foreign country and then you finally find someone that speaks the same language as you.
That's it. That's what it feels like. 100%.
And I got to a point where I didn't think I could find anyone like that here. And then I met you, and then I met John, and then I met like a whole bunch of other people.
Yeah.
So I think if people are going through that time of like, oh, my friends aren't really kind of accepting me for like what I like and all that, but I don't want to risk kind of leaving that and having no friends. Like, trust me, coming from me who did that, it does pay off in the end. It does pay off.
It does. 100%.
And now I've got amazing friends that, like before I couldn't really text them and be like, oh, did you see Henry Cavill in Superman vs. Batman? Or
that's it. Yeah.
Oh, did you want to go see Infinity War this week?
That's it. Yeah.
And I never really could do that. And so that's why I got kind of like depressed, I guess. But then I took that risk, and then I met you, and I got closer with Matt, and then now we go to every superhero movie on opening night. We cosplay.
Yeah,
I was at Comic-Con.
That's it. Yeah, and every time Matt's every time without fail, Matt's like, "Shut the fuck up!" Like,
yeah, literally,
the movie way too loud.
Yeah, but
I love that guy.
Yeah, same here, man. But I think I think if you, I think take that risk, and because that eventually, if you feel like there isn't people like you, that there's millions of people like you where you live, because Adelaide's tiny.
It's
where we live, Adelaide's tiny, so you don't think you could find like a big comic community. But I like going to Comic-Con, it's massive, man.
Yeah,
the comic community within Adelaide is huge, and I thought it was so overwhelming. Kind of the first time that I kind of met you.
The first time you met John. Hey, Rad Comics, like.
Yeah, that was pretty. That was a really cool experience. That was something I will never forget.
Definitely.
But but that's what I mean. Like getting closer with John, and then you, and like kind of meeting other people. I just thought, damn, like this is like my life couldn't get better. It's great.
Yeah. I feel that once you fully express yourself the way you want to express yourself, then you attract the right people.
Yeah, literally.
That's just how I feel happened with you and me.
Yeah.
And I think it's a beautiful thing, man. I feel like it just really goes to show, like, I mean, I could have spent, like my years like pretending to love something I didn't, and then
Yeah.
attracting those people who have that common interest,
Yeah.
and then just like really knowing nothing about it, and just like, having to hold up this like fake, false idea of myself, and then I just probably lose myself, like I wouldn't know who I am anymore. And people do struggle with that a lot. Is the question is, I don't know, like, who am I? Because it's just some people, I think when people get, the harsh reality of life chucked in their face, they kind of lose that, inner like child, I suppose, in a way.
Yeah.
And they, with that, maybe might, go some passion projects, or some, something you wanted to pursue, or something you could see yourself doing that would genuinely bring you joy. And some men fall into the whole, oh great, well now I have to work this 9-to-5 job and I'm not special. Like, everyone is special.
Yeah.
Everyone has something to give. And some men, I feel, have to put that on hold for the convenience of everyone else, and then waste their whole life working 9-to-5 and just making paycheck to paycheck to paycheck, not doing the stuff they want to do. And it's sad.
It really, I get upset every time you hear about it, guys, men not wanting to do what they love to do,
exactly,
or too scared to put that first. And
it's like that sorry to cut you off again.
No,
it's like
okay.
that it's like that quote that's, I can't remember who said it, and I'm definitely gonna say this is not an original quote, so please don't quote me on that, haha. But I think it goes that if you feel the price of trying is too hard, wait till you get the bill from regret.
Yeah, I've seen that clip. I know that
yeah.
one quote. Yeah,
but it's so true, man.
Yeah,
it's
literally.
so true. It really is, and it's shocking, man. Like, people just never take, or are too scared to, take that risk, or just leap, and it's a leap of faith.
Literally, yeah, it's a leap of faith, Miles. It's odd.
It is. That's all it is. I feel that's how I choose to look at it.
Yeah, and I was always worried to kind of put my interest before kind of like my job and my life.
Yeah.
And then I took that leap of faith. And I don't regret it, because now I get to, I'm much more happier with my life, because I've got more time to do things that I love, read comic books and play video games and all that. And I think that's something that I think a lot of you guys should do, is take that leap of faith for your interests.
Yeah.
Because not only will you be happier in life, you will actually you actually kind of appreciate life a lot more. You will kind of,
definitely.
wake up with more of a smile. And because, like, people ask me at my job, they go, Toby, why are you, like, you never really seem like sad or upset, you always, like, you never complain or anything. It's like, well, because I put my interest first, so I always have something to look forward to.
Yeah.
Like the new, let's say the new Diablo game comes out next week. That's what's getting me through the week. The Flash movie comes out in like next week. That's what's getting me through the week.
That's it.
And it's really anything passion. Next week I can next week I get to train. That's great. Like, I get to train at footy. That's amazing.
Next week I get a date with my, like, lady friend to see the Flash for the second time. That's what I get. That's what got me through my week. So.
Yeah, exactly. It's that trying to find. I think that's something a lot of people should do. Just try and find something that you love doing that pulls you through to the week after week. Because before you know it, you'll have like a project. So let's say like the podcast is probably our project that we're
essentially
working towards them. And because it's around something that we're very passionate about, like, we've already done nearly 10 episodes, and it hasn't even like crossed our mind.
Yeah,
we just get to do it every single time, and like, we just don't think about it. Absolutely. That's what gets me through all the times. Like, I get to do a podcast next week, and we get to talk about this. We get to break down this,
and it's so fucking fun, dude. Seriously.
It really is. But that's what I mean. Like, it doesn't feel like we're gonna do another podcast because we have to get this. It's just like couldn't, obviously, like, it would be a great opportunity if we gain heaps of subscribers and we get, we go to premieres and all that shit. But
that's the dream. But
that's the dream. But obviously, it wouldn't really be the end of the world, because I just
it would
make videos with my mate.
Exactly. And the thing is, like,
and shit.
exactly. And you know what? It makes us happy, and that to me our happiness and our contentment with the content we put out is more valuable than like, I don't know, 15K or 15,000 like Mr. Beast numbers.
Bugatti.
You know, like Bugatti or
Yeah.
a Bugatti. You know, like
Or Bugatti, yeah.
I don't really feel that, you know, that's I'm happy to talk about the books I love and the characters I love and just toys like this. And it's for me, it just because our episodes they improve almost every week.
Yeah, we're slowly getting there, yeah.
And it makes me happy, man. Like just
really,
you know, and it's something I really look forward to, like, you know, every day, man. It's just the fact that I get we have a podcast. Like, I don't care if we have like tons of subs or tons of likes. That would be great. But we have just the fact that we have a podcast is just so fucking cool, man. It really is.
Yeah. We got fancy microphones. We sound crisp as fuck. You know what I mean?
We really do.
We sound official, like proper. Yeah, it's awesome.
We got things going for us, man. Shit's crazy.
I want to talk about a place that has definitely helped me in the past 7 months. Definitely grow as a person is the gym.
Yeah.
And we kind of touched on it earlier today. But like I was watching Joe Rogan, which is another small podcast that nobody really knows. Really small podcast. But I was watching Joe Rogan and he brought up a study that the gym is 1.5 times more effective than actual therapy itself. And so, but something that I learned so much about the gym, like, not only do you get to look good, like you get to lift weights and look cool and have big muscles and all that shit, but you generally learn so much about yourself, and you learn a lot about pushing yourself really challenging yourself.
Perseverance is a massive thing with the gym.
Yeah, literally. Because it's you're on that final set and you're on that rep and you're like, okay, I need to get 8, and you really push yourself to get that 8 rep, you know. And then you learn, like, fuck, man, like, if I can push to get that 8th rep, I can push myself to, you know, do the things I want to do, to become an actor, to become a writer, to become a professional footy player or something. Do you know what I mean? Like, and just like, it just helps. Like, I just love the gym so much because it just releases a lot of dopamines, but also it's just like, I don't know, it's just like you get to work on yourself. That's somewhere that, like, if you struggle with anxiety, it's somewhere where you can actually make a difference.
Yeah, it's it.
Yourself. So I did struggle with anxiety for a long time. And I was always worrying about situations that weren't even happening or possible. Or
whereas literally Ryan Gosling.
Literally me. I drive.
Yeah.
Check out my new movie Barbie.
Yeah, bro, it's just gonna be peak. It's got Fred from Scooby doing it.
But like, I did struggle with anxiety, and it's like like just worrying about situations that aren't even real.
That's it.
But then the gym was like one place where, like, if you're anxious about, oh, I don't look good, I'm a bit fat, I'm a bit skinny. It's like that's the one place where you could make a difference. And from the gym, I've learned that, like, for example, like I do like my job, but let's say that I didn't. The only person that can change that is me. I'm not gonna wake up one day and be like, oh wow, I got a new job that I really like that pays me more money than I wanted. Do you know what I mean? Or, you know, it's like a dream. Like, if you have a dream, like, let's say you want to become an actor, you're not gonna wake up one morning and go, oh, I'm the new Superman. I'm earning $10-15 million tomorrow.
I mean, that's a great mentality to wake up, though. Like,
I mean, David Corset's probably the happiest motherfucker on the planet.
Yeah, that's what
right
I'm
now.
saying, bro. He literally waking up like, I'm literally Superman. Like,
I'm literally Superman.
Yeah, damn.
But let's use that. Like, David Corset didn't just wake up one morning and go, oh, James Gunn, oh, cool, I'm Superman now, cool. He had to work so hard, and only he
that's it.
could become Superman.
Definitely.
And that's something that I...
best choice.
Yeah, great choice. And I think it's something I learned from the gym is like, just you're the only person that can change things. And I think if you look at the gym in that way, you will progress so much faster than all these villain motherfuckers that are like, I hate the world. No.
Chip on my shoulder.
Chip on my shoulder. Sigma. I'm literally Homelander.
Yeah.
You know, there's like...
Let's see Paul Allen's card.
Let's see Paul Allen's PR. But you will progress so much faster, and
Yeah.
I will take a sip, and then I've got a great, I think, analysis of two characters that I've explained to Liam that I love.
Yeah.
2 seconds. I'm gonna catch
No,
my
good.
breath and take a sip.
Yep. Get some hydration in you, dude. Is that literally me? Oh my god. Gotta show that off for a minute. That's the coolest shit ever, dude.
I'm Batman.
Yeah, I'm Batman. Bro's literally Batman, for real.
But the two analysis that I've told Liam before is from the franchise. Obviously, our little friend. Hey, it's me.
Hey, it's me, Goku.
But something that I learned a lot from. Obviously, he negs.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Bro, he negs your villain arc, dude. It's that simple.
Bro,
dude.
he literally does, bro.
But something that I learned with Goku and Vegeta, for people that have watched Dragon Ball, and I've explained this to Liam, was Vegeta has such a grudge against Goku because Goku's stronger than him. And so Vegeta will do anything in his path to become stronger. So Vegeta has turned his back on people. He has had a chip in the world and gone, fuck you, I don't need anyone else. I'm the best. Like, he's not going to take responsibility. He's just going to go train and not really take anyone's help or advice.
Yeah.
But Goku's always been that one step further, and the reason because of that is because Goku is so mindful of others. He's like, he wants to protect his friends. He wants to help out. He opens up his responsibility. He goes, oh, well, I wasn't strong enough. Or, oh, well, I wasn't good enough. I need to do better. And I think that's something that, because a lot of people within the gym kind of community look at Vegeta as kind of like, oh, I need to be like Vegeta. I need to shut myself off. I need to just be the best. But I look at Goku and try to be like that, and just try to be the strongest version that I can be. I don't want to be the strongest person in the fucking planet. I just want to be the strongest version of myself.
Shit, you could try.
You could try, but Goku doesn't try to be the strongest person in the universe. He just tries to be the strongest version of himself. He just wants to, improve himself. And I think that's.
It's definitely like just, just trying to like. I'm not saying actually like it'd be fun to like try and
become a Super Saiyan. Go Super Saiyan. That's what we're trying to say.
Yeah, exactly. But again, it's true though, because Goku, in comparison to Superman, because you actually pointed this out recently, is that Superman never really needed to train because he was given his abilities, whereas Goku's all about, he's on the grind all the time because he loves what he does. Like, yeah, he smiles through the pain, man. He smiles through all that, but it's just the best way to. Like Goku has such a great mentality. Like, I'm not a massive Dragon Ball guy myself. I have a lot to catch up on. I know it's a great series. I know it's a great manga, but like Goku as a character, he's so impactful in like so many people's lives, man. It's such a great character to look up to.
Yeah, like you say, he's the dumbest motherfucker ever. He doesn't know how to spell his name.
He's dense as fuck, but like
he doesn't know how his kids were born. He generally doesn't know how they were born. He still doesn't understand it, but he just
his makes up for it.
Yeah, he just loves to train. He loves to train,
Yeah, that's it.
And that's all that he has is his training, his friends, and his family. He literally does not need it. He hasn't got any money. He has no money. He lives in like a hut with his kid. But he doesn't need any of that because he has his wife, his kids, his family, and he gets to train every day. And that's all that matters to him.
Mm-hmm.
And then rather when you look at someone like Vegeta, who like needs to be the best, I think some way that's a good mentality, but it's not the end of the world if you're not the best.
And
just be the best that you can be.
That's it, yeah. That's all you can be, man. A lot of people today obviously have that mentality of like, no, like, I can't cut myself some slack. I can't give myself a break. Like if I'm not the best, then I'll never amount to anything. That is a lie. That is a lie.
Literally.
That is such a lie, man. You can be like, I've met people who have said, yeah, I know it's like, it's a really toxic way of thinking. And it's like, it really is, because like, you'll never be like, I'm not saying
never be the best.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. As unfortunate as it is, like you can't be the best at everything, You
can't, no.
You might be really, really talented in that field, and like you might have a gift and you want to walk towards that, and you might want to be the best you can be, but like it's just, you don't have to set yourself like so high. It's like like that a lot of people, especially actually because we were mentioning the gym before, it's good to be on the grind. It's good to have that routine in your life, and it's great to have, that as a motivation. I'm not saying chuck that out the door, but I mean, a lot of people make that, if I don't have like massive bulging biceps, then my life is gonna amount to nothing. And it's like I'm not saying give up. I'm not saying give up.
No.
But like, you need to find you need to enjoy a little bit of your life every now and then.
You need to enjoy your training. If you hate your
enjoy your training,
it's not worth it.
Exactly. If you're going to the gym for hate-based reasons, like I hate my appearance or I hate myself, like that's just, I mean, that is such a really rubbish way to look at it, because you look at yourself in the mirror, and it's just, you might not like how you look, but I look at it as, oh my god, like this is what I look like now. Imagine what I'm going to look like in a few years. It's progress. It's taking in that it's a journey, man. So I appreciate the journey instead of like putting yourself down, I feel.
Yeah, no, and that's another thing I think I've learned from Goku the most, is that kind of appreciation for training and I think I just think I've learned so much from the gym, and especially Goku. Like I told Liam this the other day when we had a workout a few weeks ago. We worked out.
It's really
together.
fun, yeah.
And when we were leaving on the way home, we were like. We were talking. I love the gym because obviously I get to improve myself and I get to do that. But like, I genuinely, like, in my head, I get to just pretend I'm Goku for 45 minutes.
Yeah, and that's not the coolest shit ever, for real.
And I think you said the same with the gym. Like, you just get to pretend you're Dick Grayson training
pretty much, yeah.
for like 45 minutes to an hour. And that shit makes my day, dude. And that's another thing. It's like, it's a tough day, but then I think in my head, it's like I get to be Goku for an hour.
I get to be a fucking acrobat for like a half hour. That's the coolest shit ever, man. I'm cool. Like,
yeah,
it's great.
But that's on the topic of like, enjoy your training. Try and just really enjoy training.
Be appreciative of the process.
Yeah,
that's how I look at it.
And then another a real life person that I really look up to. I think is someone David Goggins.
Yes.
Who is like, oh man, he's like probably my number one role model at the moment, like real life type of role model. Yeah. David Goggins is number one because I was watching a clip from a podcast, and someone told him, he goes like, why don't you go to the gym? Why don't you work out? Why don't you improve yourself? And then the guy goes, you don't understand my life. And he goes like, well, I fucking do. He goes, don't think nobody understands your life. You know what I mean? And I thought that was just so great because like, I've used that excuse before. I've always gone like, nobody understands my life. Nobody knows what I'm going through.
Yeah.
But it's like, well, no, but people kind of can relate to what you're going through. Mm-hmm. And I think something with trauma especially, and I think obviously I wouldn't want it upon my worst enemy, but I think when people aren't willing to move past that, I know it can be hard. I have had a little bit of trauma myself. It can be hard. But you just have to move forward, because then otherwise you're letting that experience win over.
You're getting lost. You're getting lost in it, and you're not like taking a step back. Like, okay, this is really a horrible situation to be in, but like, what does this really teach me about like resilience and just like moving forward?
Yeah, literally. And it really frustrates me when I talk to people and they go, "Oh, I can't do this, I can't do that." It's like, well, you can. You literally can.
It's just up here. That's all it is.
And I know it's very memed about a lot, but the Shia LaBeouf meme of like, just do it. Like, just do it. Just make your dreams come true.
Come true.
It's a meme, but like, I watch that shit sometimes and it motivates me because he's not wrong.
He's literally not. We didn't
just do it.
We didn't understand it at the time.
Yeah.
It was a whole thing, but I mean, Shia LaBeouf, like, in general, like, I remember...
he's definitely... But that's another one of, like, taking responsibility as a man.
Yeah, exactly.
He's done some terrible things, and he took responsibility for it. And look how much... Now he's not one of the most inspirational people to look to. A lot of men look to Shia LaBeouf and be like, I need to be like him.
Exactly. And I think, like, that podcast episode he had with John Bernthal, aka
Let me
Toby.
tell you something.
Hey man, let me tell. I tell you what, man. He's yeah.
John
like,
Bernthal was another top G as well.
John Bernthal. Oh,
Yeah.
the amount of respect I have for him, just not like as an actor, but as an individual, as a human fucking being.
Yeah.
He is like he's got the biggest heart, man. He's a role model, man, for real.
It's really funny because he plays Frank Carson, who's like the darkest motherfucker.
Yeah, it's
in all of
and
fiction.
like and like when you actually like look at John Bernthal, he's got the biggest heart, man, and he's just like he's great, man. You know, and I'm just saying, like, yeah, one of the greatest actors in Marvel, I feel. He's
for sure.
really, really talented. But yeah, I was gonna. Oh, hang on, I'm having a brain fart. What was it?
You were talking about the podcast episode.
Yeah.
Him and John Bernthal and Shia LaBeouf had.
Yeah, it was I think it was called I can't remember the name of the podcast, but I think it was Real Ones. I think that was the name of it. But but he, Shia LaBeouf got very vulnerable during that whole episode, and he talked about, like, his concept on and his perspective on, like what being a man is and like what it should be and how he doesn't feel like he's all that yet. It's something that I can actually somewhat identify with.
Yeah.
Because I don't feel that I've exactly earned that yet. I don't really feel that I'm, like as developed as I should be yet. And I've got a long way to go. And I've got to really prove it to myself, not to anyone else, but I need to prove it to myself that, like, I'm willing and worthy enough to take on that title. I'm modest enough to realize that I have a few setbacks and I have a few flaws and I have a few shortcomings that I need to get on top of. I'm not saying I need to be perfect. I'm definitely not perfect, but there's just some things that I'm not, the most capable of right now that, like I probably should be in, maybe a decade or something. But there are things I recognize, but there's things I want to work towards. And when I heard Shia LaBeouf talking about that, it's like I'm not the only one that sort of thinks like that sometimes. I think I understand, like, he's probably done a few sketchy things and he's been very weird in his history of Hollywood, but I understand, like, him fully in that whole episode. So yeah, shout out to Shia LaBeouf, man.
I think something what we talked about before was that leap of faith. Like, he was one of the biggest names in Hollywood. He did Transformers, he did Holes. It was a big name, and he was an upcoming, really talented actor. But he took that leap of faith from leaving Hollywood, the fame and the money and the spotlight. He took that leap of faith to focus on himself.
Don't forget the bitches.
Sorry.
I love that movie.
Yeah. But he took that leap of faith in leaving all that, because being an actor is probably regarded as like the best job in the world, like, the number one job. Like, you have all the money, you get to pretend and all that. But he left that, actually, I should say. He left that to focus on himself, and then look how much of a better man he's become.
Definitely.
And he found a wife. I love it when he talks about his wife and how he doesn't deserve the love that he gets, but he's so appreciative of the love he gets.
That's it, yeah.
Which was great. But that was another part. He was very vulnerable. Like, he was on the verge of just bursting into tears, and that was something that was really inspirational.
Yeah, I feel definitely.
For me, and I think a lot of people.
I think, because we all, like, feel that way at some point. We all feel like not deserving of love because I think, we feel that, we're so imperfect. We could never, accept that. We can never, like, fully take that in because, like, like, we're not perfect, and only perfect people should feel that. But it's like happiness. Like, everyone is entitled to feel happy, and I think love is just, it's a virus, man. Like, it doesn't matter, like, how you're born or how you act. Like, someone out there is gonna want to love you because you're unique and you stand out, and you probably do have good character traits and good moral values, and you're not afraid to be yourself, and I don't know, I think I there's a lot of people I love personally, like close friends and everything, that like, the thing is, like, the people who piss me off the most are usually the ones I love the most.
Yeah,
And
literally. Yeah.
I don't focus on the fact that, like they might, just make me a little bit aggravated every now and then. Like I remind myself every time. It's like, these people have done so much good for me in the past, and they've helped a brother out, and they've essentially saved my life. And it's just how I think that. Sorry, I just walked in. But yeah, it's like I don't expect everyone in my friend group to be perfect, because I accept them the way they are, and the way they want to be, and how they want to live their life, and I don't really care. I mean, if people make me happy, they make me happy, and that's gonna turn and blossom into a love. I feel,
literally,
if they respect me.
No, literally. I was gonna say something, and I just completely forgot.
Hope that made sense.
It made a lot of sense. I was gonna say something like, "Fuck, that's really annoying."
Yeah, that's the worst, right?
What was I gonna say? Can't remember now. Honestly, that annoys me. It might come back to me.
Could be Henry Cavill related.
Oh, it could be.
We have no way of knowing.
No. Damn, I'm trying so hard to remember what because it was really good. What were you just talking about before? Just remind me.
We were just talking about Shia LaBeouf, and we were talking about drug Bethel and that whole podcast, and vulnerability and not feeling deserving of love. And pretty much like, how we could sort of relate to that, like I think that episode in particularly from Real Ones is like something we could really feel like almost relate to in a very personal way. And I guess that we also mentioned about, we didn't understand at the time when that whole thing came out. When that whole meme came out. But I think when you're an adult and you actually take that in, even when my dad saw it, like, like you laugh, but like that's actual facts, like
just do it.
It's a good way to just like it's a good attitude to have, like, because he's really not wrong when you really look at the video.
Yeah, literally, yeah. It might come back to me later. But yeah, I think that podcast is great. I think that whole series of podcasts with John Bernthal was something that a lot of people should really check out.
Definitely.
And even whether you like him or not, I think Joe Rogan's another one. I think some of those episodes of Joe Rogan can be a bit like, it's a bit, but I think some of those episodes have been great. I think they're really kind of emotional and deep episodes from Joe Rogan. I think that's another one a lot of people should check out. But I think something that I think this whole kind of what we spoke about so far is obviously like I think it's a lot of soul searching. I think people should do a lot more of. I think it's kind of what we've
a little bit of self-discovery. A little bit of self-discovery goes a long way, I feel.
And if you have to take the risk, do it, because it's worth it at the end of the day.
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, I'm telling you, fear is literally a tool, because it actually helps build yourself. Like I think once you choose to let, in a way, you kind of let fear like take over a little bit, and then not let it take over. You take over fear. Sorry, is what I'm trying to say. In just like turning that voice off and just going, fuck it, at least I can do is try. You know what? It like, when you come out the other end successful and you've learned a lot and you didn't enjoy it the whole way round, but when you've gone through an experience that you've been petrified of and you come out, a way you didn't expect you'd come out, and it's in a positive light, that is just an amazing feeling, man. It really is.
On that, I want to say
just trying.
Two kind of quotes from someone that I recently learned to look up to as well, was Jim Carrey. 2 quotes from him. That's someone else who did a lot of soul searching, who left Hollywood, and
he did,
did a lot of soul searching.
This is true, he did.
One story he tells about his dad, who he says his dad could have been a great comedian, but didn't think it would work, so he got a safe job as an accountant. Then Jim says when he was 12, his dad was let go from that job, and they had to struggle for food ever since. And he learned something from his dad, was like, why you might as well fail at something you want to do rather than fail at something you don't want to do.
So I guess that can also be said about like it's better to be
Yeah.
at the bottom of a ladder that you want to climb than
Yeah.
halfway up one you don't want to climb.
No, literally, yeah. That's another great one.
Yeah, The Office, watch it.
Great show. And then another one he said as well, because he had depression, was he did a lot of soul searching. He goes, I found that depression is this mask that
Depressed.
Is something that fuck, I'm trying to put it together. Is your mind telling you, like, I don't want to play this character anymore.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that kind of helped me through my depression, because I was acting like someone I didn't want to be.
Yeah.
And so I had to I kept telling myself, like, I don't want to be this person anymore. My brain's like, no, like, you're being this fucking person because you have to be accepted. You have to do this, Toby. Like, you can't be yourself. You're not allowed to, because then you have no friends. And then I eventually got to the point where I was like, no, fuck this. I'm taking the risk. I'm going to be myself. And then that paid off. So I think that's a quote that I think a lot of people going through depression can look to, is I know, and like something that really annoys me, well, something that did annoy me is when I had depression, people just go, just cheer up, just like, do something you like. And it's like, well, do you not think I fucking tried that?
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, it's like the first thing you do,
But after hearing that quote, I was like, damn, that's what it is. That's it. I'm pretending to be someone that I don't want to be.
Yeah.
And then
exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's because I would always put up this, like, what do you call it,
persona.
Yeah, this like fake persona, I suppose you could say, of just you want to fit in, you want to make sure you're catching up with the right goss, and it's always like
wearing what's trendy, what's new in the fashion.
Exactly, yeah. And like, it's just that mentality can it can take you only so far, and it's not good for your health, because it's not good for your mental well-being, because it puts it's so much unnecessary just negativity, because you don't want to be playing this character, and you don't like, this isn't making you happy, and it's like, I just question myself, like, why am I still going out of my way to impress these people who, again, would never do what I'm doing for them, and would never show me, and don't show me the respect I show to them. It took me a while to learn to just like walk away respectfully. I'm not saying you have to be a dick about it, but if they're not your people, they're not your people, and that's not a bad thing. Accepting that, it's a sign of maturity. Accepting that and realizing that, okay, I need to find people I blend with, and then you meet someone like Toby or Braden or amongst that whole group, who just accept you, and you don't have to work hard for them. Like, if you have to work hard to for someone or a group, then it's not worth it.
I think that I learned that's a great kind of analogy. Something that I learned the hard way was something that a lot of men struggle with, is kind of girlfriends and trying to get a girlfriend, and
that's
breakups and relationships and all that. And I kind of I always hated, like, because a lot of guys now try to pretend to, they always try to impress girls, and all that, and that's something that I could never do. And I always kind of hated myself for that. So then that's how I kind of fell down that rabbit hole of pretending to be someone that I don't want to be. And then that whole journey started about, depression, and drove me all that. And then I realized I was like, you know what, I'd rather, and a lot of people got, like, I think nowadays that a lot of guys only look for a girl with a big ass or a nice tits, or a small
they go after the assets, and they don't really look inwards.
Literally. And I always like, damn, I would rather like my like a girlfriend that a girl who isn't regarded as good looking to modern standards, but just appreciate who I am. I'd rather a girl like that rather than someone like Margot Robbie, who's like, a girl like Margot Robbie who's super hot.
And look, she might be lovely in real life, but it's just it's like that whole thing, like, like you wouldn't get upset about fumbling a 10 out of 10, but when you fumble
Yeah.
the 7 out of 10 weird goal, it's like,
Oh yeah, that actually likes you for who you are. Yeah, I
yeah,
know.
exactly. It's always the thing about I like through school is it's always the underrated goals that are really the
Yeah.
hottest, you know,
When you see them when they leave school, you're like, damn,
exactly. It's always the
But in high school, it's that social standard of like, oh, I want to go for the nice blonde girl, that.
exactly.
Yeah, and then you turn out she's actually, I hate to say it, but a bitch,
Yeah,
That's what it is.
I mean, I'm sorry, but it's just I look back in high school and I think of it. It was always like all the attractive girls that always demanded the respect of everyone. And it's like I don't know you, like I don't.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna make an like
I'm
an
gonna bend
effort
over
to
backwards for you.
exactly. Like it's just I don't really feel why But again, teenagers, they're all their hormones are on crazy levels, and there's some they just think with their hearts. They don't think
I think
with
with a dick, man. Hey,
yeah,
let's
exactly.
be honest.
It's just they don't really want to just get to know girls. They just like how they make them feel, or and vice versa. But I think to truly love someone is to accept them for everything, flaws and all.
Literally, yeah.
Like just because they might have perfect assets or anything, that must mean that, oh my god, like yeah, they're for life. Oh my god, I'm gonna be so happy.
Yeah.
Except when they're just like down your
How
throat.
long can a fat ass carry a good personality?
That
It's the fucking truth.
it's facts
bro.
though. It's facts though. I mean, it's valid as fuck. It just can't out of
No,
nowhere.
how long can a fat ass carry a shit personality? I should say.
That's right. Yes, that's right. That's right. It's yeah. I think personal. I tell you what. When people ask me, Liam, like Arsenal tits, I'm just like attitude.
Yeah.
Every time, because attitude is the hottest thing, dude. Seriously, I think
Literally, yeah.
when a woman has has a focus, when a woman is driven, and when a woman and a man, sorry, as well. Not that I'm gay, but I want to keep it fair.
Yeah. They're good.
But yeah, I feel that when you meet someone who has a focus and who isn't like relying on like OnlyFans to pay rent, and isn't just like selling themselves, and isn't just have willy-nilly wrapping men around their finger like they're just a piece of paper like money. I think when you meet someone who's just got and who has been brought up right and has just has really great qualities and makes an effort to talk to you, and puts as much effort into talking to you that you do talking into them, that's the sort of people you want to be with.
I think I hope you don't mind telling me, because I think it's a great story of how you and your girlfriend met.
Yeah,
I think it's such a great story. If you don't mind me telling it, because I think it's something that a lot of people
go ahead,
can learn from.
Yeah,
so
definitely, yeah.
Liam met his girlfriend. One night we went to see Across the Spider-Verse, right? And,
great film, by the way.
If some of you who don't know, Liam is a massive Spider-Man fan.
Yes,
it may or may
true.
not be obvious.
I don't know. That's the question.
But him and some of our other friends dressed as Spider-Man. So he dressed as there he is right there.
Ultimate Spider-Man. Yeah, go on.
Him and his other friends dressed as Spider-Man. One of his friends dressed as Spectacular. The other friends dressed as Miles and Liam.
Morales. Yeah.
Miles Morales, yeah. And then Liam went as the No Way Home suit, the final suit in No Way Home. And obviously that was a great night.
It was.
And then this girl comes up to Liam, and I always thought I thought she wanted a picture with you because you were.
Yeah, that's what I thought too, man.
Your suit looks great.
Yeah.
But she said, "Oh, I find you really cute. Can I get your Instagram? Blah blah blah." And then,
yeah,
obviously that was such a great moment. And then obviously you guys are together now, which is great. But then something that I learned from that situation was like Liam he didn't wear a Spider-Man suit to try and get a girl's attention. He didn't really go out his way to try and get a girl's attention. He just wore the Spider-Man suit because he fucking loves Spider-Man.
Yeah,
and got to go see Spider-Man on the big screen. That's and that's something that like what we were saying. Just be yourself.
Yeah, and you attract the right people.
Literally.
I think it's a great example. I feel like it's a great. It's 100%. I mean, and you know, she's lovely. She really is.
Yeah,
She's
she sounds awesome.
oh, she's more than awesome, man. She's a 10. She checks all the boxes. She has the right attitude, and rarely you find girls like that. I feel nowadays. So
Oh yeah, never.
I want to say to everyone watching, when you do find a man or a woman like that, cherish them and don't take them for granted.
Yeah, you have to. Yeah, even find people like your mum. If you have a great mum, try and find a girl
Definitely,
like that,
yeah.
because nobody will. Something that I absolutely love the quote is a man's first love is always his mum.
Absolutely.
And so that's what I always try to look. Well, I try to look for girls nowadays, anyways, is someone that will kind of take into my interest like my mum does. Like, I'm 23, right? I dress up as Superman. I dress up as, you know, the Wolverine, Captain America, and all that. But she's always like really supportive of that. Like, she was the one that kind of like, I always remember talking to her and I was like, oh, I don't really know if I want to do Goku because I don't know the wig. And well, she was like, do it. She goes, Toby, if you love Goku, if you love this character, then you should dress up as him, because she goes, because I just want to see what you happy. And like, I think seeing you dressed as Goku would make you over the moon. And so that's why I went through with the Goku cosplay. But I feel like finding someone like that is honestly the best trait you can find in a woman. It's just finding someone that like just likes you for who you are. Doesn't matter how weird you are.
Accepts you.
Yeah, literally. And I think that's what you found, and that's what is very rare to find nowadays. Very rare to find.
It is, yeah. But when you find it,
we are not shitting on women, by the way. We're just talking about. I think men try to put their standards way too high.
Yes, definitely. And they don't, you know, it's just they just go after what looks like at face value.
Yeah.
You know, like the best thing. When in reality, you have to sit down and actually get to know people to really understand their worth. And when you find someone who holds such worth, please don't let them go, and please don't take them for granted. Because I need to preach about that, man. Because it's like that shit's so important, man. Because like you can't really know how valuable something is until it's gone.
Yeah, literally, yeah.
Yeah, but I don't know. I mean, it's there's someone out there for everyone. It's just, I don't know. It's a canon event, and it hasn't happened yet.
Canon event, exactly.
You know,
that's how you gotta look at it. It's a canon event, man.
It's a canon event for real. Yeah.
But I think kind of what we've spoke about so far, I think throughout this whole kind of episode is, obviously we are very passionate about mental health, but I think more so like really take that risk in soul searching, because it can be scary.
It can. Yeah.
It can be really daunting. You will find out a lot of things about yourself that you don't want to know, but you have to know, and you have to improve from that. You have to accept those things. You have to kind of like better yourself from those situations. And so I think that's what I think a lot of people misunderstand about mental health. It's not so much of like, oh yeah, I support mental health, and then they don't really. A lot of people don't really do anything about it. Like a lot of like kind of big influencers just go, oh yeah, I support mental health, and then won't really actually support men.
Yeah, some people
know what I mean?
Some people treat mental health in general, like male or female, as if it's a trend. I feel.
Yes. Sorry, I do want to interrupt. Something that has really frustrated me, I think you can back this up, is a lot of people will go, oh my god, I'm going to kill myself. Like, you know, when something minor happens, they go, oh my god, I'm going to kill myself. Or like, when something bad happens, they're like, oh my god, I got depression. Like, I think mental illness is so regarded as like nothing now. So when you actually come out, say like, I actually am medically diagnosed with depression, I'm medically diagnosed with anxiety, they go, yeah, bullshit, because it's such a trend now to kind of have depression and to have anxiety and to have trauma and PTSD. And
it's I feel it's glamorized in society, and it's which is so stupid, man. And it's a shame, because people who actually do suffer from those illnesses are, you know, shied upon, and you know, just people will just make assumptions about you now, because it's such a norm, and like no one will take your word for it, unfortunately.
Yeah, that's the, you know, I always hear people go, oh my god, I'm gonna kill myself, and then I'm always like, just don't say that, because then you find it that, and then it's easy to say that. It's easy to just
imagine what you're missing out on as well.
Literally,
you know, like it's just
I think, but yeah, like, because the more you start saying that, the more easy it gets to say it, and then in the end, you kind of get in that mindset. You end up putting yourself in depression for no reason.
Yeah.
no reason whatsoever, because it's easy to just go, I'm gonna kill myself. I'm just not like,
It's a cop out.
yeah, literally.
Yeah, feels like a cop out. Yeah, definitely.
But yeah, that's something that I think with this episode, I really wanted to kind of get through that message of not so much of just like, we're here for you with mental health. It's like,
Yeah,
no, take those risks. Go search. Go search. Go, fuck, can I talk? Go soul searching. Such a tricky sentence. Go soul searching. Take those risks. Leave that friend group that, you feel like, even if you go, I'm not going to have any friends, leave the friend group.
Yeah.
Find another job, leave your marriage, break up with the relationship if it's affecting you mentally, because you're not gonna regret it at the end of the day. You just won't.
Exactly. Yeah, 100%. I will just leave off with I just wanted to add one more thing. I feel just on my behalf, about, because we've obviously been talking a lot about Superman, like from your end.
Yeah.
But I think a great example of resilience is from this guy.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Specifically, I want to talk about the symbiote suit and the relevance that has to a lot of Spider-Man stories, because it enhances his abilities and gives him takes away that a lot of struggle that comes with regular Spider-Man antics, and that's it probably sounds great, but it comes at a price, because the symbiote feeds off of negative emotions.
Yeah,
like the mentors from Harry Potter. It feeds off that self-doubt, that anxiety, that depression, that feeling, and hatred. And once you let it's definitely it's actually taught me a lesson about myself. But when Peter Parker ever lets that consume him, he becomes the worst version of himself. He's not Peter Parker anymore. He's not spreading what he's not carrying the legacy of Uncle Ben anymore. He's just he's sour and he's bitter, and that's he misses the part. Well, that's his problem. He doesn't really care about being Spider-Man anymore. He cares about his own self-interest, and it's just a lot of people feel like that sometimes. A lot of people fall into that pit of they have to face their they face their demons, and they don't face their demons, and then that leads to them their demons consuming them, to the point where it's just they're being so inconsiderate to everyone else, and they're not being kind to themselves, and they're not having any understanding for themselves, and they turn in because they don't want to talk about their emotions, and they don't want to accept help, and they turn to, it could be drugs, it could be alcohol, it could be substance abuse, it could be sex, and unfortunately some people feel they have to turn to that, because that's easier than just opening up about what's bothering you, because it shields and it gives you that sense of power, because you're all big and alpha, and
it's easy.
It's easy, but the thing is, what always gets Peter Parker out of the suit is his reminder of I have so much love. I'm surrounded by so much support and love and friendship, and I have purpose.
Yeah,
I have purpose, and
he doesn't want to take that in. He doesn't want to take it for granted, because he lost Uncle Ben.
Exactly.
He somewhat took it for granted. He had that fight with Uncle Ben, and he took it for granted.
Exactly, yeah. And it's just it, as much as it hurt at the time, but he would want him to keep going, in the same way that we probably have lost people in our lives who have definitely been like an Uncle Ben to us, and we want to continue that legacy despite all the dark days. We want to pursue, and we want to become resilient at the other end, and we want to make sure that as much as we could be making other people proud, we're making ourselves proud, knowing that we're following our hearts, and we're doing what's right for us and helping people. Spider-Man's a character. I'm gonna get really serious right now. But Spider-Man's a character that not only have I related to, during my early teens, and I still do now. But he's a character that instills that friendly neighborhood, and just helping out, just the little guy, and keeping an eye on the big guy, and just making sure that people are taken care of and supported. He's a character that saved my life. during a very dark period of my life. I feel that, Spider-Man has maybe more of a man than what Andrew Tate is making of these, young adults, I feel. And I believe having a big heart goes a long way. And Spider-Man taught me that. And Spider-Man also taught me that making jokes in an intense situation actually, in the long term, is actually, like cool to do, I guess. I don't know. It releases tension.
Yeah, I think literally word for word is the same for me with Superman. I think it was such a dark period of my life. I didn't like the person that I was, and then I kind of stumbled upon, or I didn't really stumble upon. I was reading much more. I think at that certain point of time, I was getting into Superman, and then I kind of realized, he did save my life. He kind of taught me that because being a gentle giant is actually a good thing rather than a bad thing. I always thought
definitely
being a gentle giant was regarded as weak and a bit of a pussy. But Superman taught me that that being a gentle giant is the right thing to do, and I really felt like to be myself, because I've always been kind of like a big lad. I've always been big, but I've always been kind of very gentle, and I'm a big lad, so I break a lot of things, But I always try to just be as gentle as possible with also physical things, like people in general. And then that's what Superman taught me, was it's okay to just be as gentle as you can, and
for sure.
And something that reminded me when you were talking about the symbiote suit, it was from a great Superman animated movie called Superman vs. the Elite.
I haven't seen that, actually.
It's a great movie, and it's where it's funny you say, when you were talking about legacy, I was like, it's crazy because obviously Superman legacy, and we want to try and follow that legacy of Superman. And I can see now where James Gunn's coming from with that title. It's like trying to follow that legacy of Clark Kent, and just being gentle and hopeful. But a quote that I love so much from Superman that you would have heard as well, it's all over TikTok, is the one where it's, dreams save us. Dreams lift us up and transform us into something better. And on my soul, I swear that until my dream of a world where dignity, honor, and justice are the reality we all share, I will never stop fighting, ever. And I just love that quote so much, and it's that movie.
It's pretty great,
The elite start killing all the criminals, and it's easy. It's easy to kill the criminals and get rid of the problem, but Clark teaches the world that that's not the right thing to do, because it's easy. We ended up falling into war and despair and hatred for each other. We should really be, kind of forgiving and kind of helping each other out.
Looking out for our neighbors.
Yeah, literally. And another quote that I love that Christopher Reeve said about Superman 3, I think, was something that he wrote in, I think it was at the end of Superman 3. He wrote his own line of he says in this press conference, he goes, "I just wish you could see the world the way I see it." And Christopher Reeve goes, when Superman's hanging out in space, he's it's just a little globe. It's just a little ball in the middle of nothing. And he goes, we should really look at it as a Smallville. We should look at everybody's neighbors. And, he goes, we live in a time where people live in big cities. They don't know their neighbors. The bank doesn't know them. Nobody knows each other.
Pretty much.
We need to look after each other, because at the end of the day, we're the only ones that have each other,
Sure.
That's something that Superman taught me the most, was being just being more kind of helpful and more kind of treating everyone as a neighbor and a friend.
Definitely. Yeah.
And that's what, and it's that what you were saying with Spider-Man and that legacy. It's what I try to follow with Superman and that Superman legacy. It's trying to follow that legacy of Superman. And then when I finished my TAFE, I dropped out of my TAFE, and I was going through a rough patch, because I didn't know what to do with my life. I didn't know what where to go. And then as I say, a little friend here picked me up again.
You did, yeah. Oh God.
So it's and I know you tell the story about Nightwing's the same for you as well.
Yeah, definitely.
In that situation, if you want to, because I think that's a great story for everyone to hear. If you want to share that story with everyone.
Which was the story? Sorry.
Just like your
my
connection to Nightwing and how much he
So I pretty much I started out I was a really big Robin kid growing up, and I think I Dick Grayson's a character I kind of grew up with. Like when I say grew up with, I mean like I actually grew with, like in a way, like when I was a kid, I was very much like I was always Robin. I was always like everyone's sidekick, and then I came in, I decided like I kind of want to just like I'm gonna do my own thing. You know what I mean?
I'm gonna do my own thing.
And then I just started, just making content, and I started, just I don't know, working a few jobs on the grind, and it's just making a little bit of money, investing in a few things, and doing the stuff I generally wanted to do. And I think that I don't care how many Nightwing comics I read, I always feel that he's a character that not only do I base my gym physique off of, but he is in a way everything that Batman should have been from the beginning.
Yeah.
He is he's the healthy Batman, I feel. He's Batman if he just I guess wasn't mean. But yeah, he's definitely like for me the biggest role model, because in contrast with Bruce Wayne, is that Dick Grayson celebrates his parents' life. And in comparison to Bruce Wayne, who unfortunately is that far gone, he just vengeance is his whole personality, and that night replays in his mind over and over and over again, and it's what drives him. But Dick Grayson's accepted the fact that like what's happened has happened, but he can still fly with them in a way, but he just has to carry them like just through memory and celebration. And I think Nightwing's costume, the fact that it's based off of the Flying Graysons, is just like it's beautiful, man. It's a beautiful. Like he's the best Robin in my opinion. He's the best DC character in my opinion. He just has the most to offer, like, and he's just full of empathy, and he's just full of everything like you want. He's optimistic like Clark, and again, like obviously the whole thing about Nightwing is that he's named after a Kryptonian warrior who Clark Kent told him about, which would be great if they explored that. And
that would be cool. Yeah, that would be
right.
Great.
Just a little thing that'd be so cool. Just a little thing. But yeah, I think I stop on the street every now and then, and like I'll just be like, I don't know, like, I kind of feel like Dick Grayson would just give that homeless person like just a 5 note, or like I'd help this person carry this truck, and it's like small things can go so far, and characters like Nightwing teach me that in a big way, like, and just being, because I was always the group leader, and people like kind of had to look to me as a leader, and like in a few cases, and I always looked up to Nightwing in terms of leadership. And he's someone that I feel I can definitely aspire to be like, and he in a lot of ways is similar to Spider-Man, has actually saved my life a lot through the years. So I owe so much to him as a character, and I owe so much to just everything that he instills in me and has taught me. And that's pretty much it.
But I wanted to, because it's such a great kind of the way you look at Nightwing is so kind of inspiring and cool. Especially the part about the homeless guy, about how you walk past homeless people and always give them money. Which is it's something I recommend everyone does. Every single person on the face of the planet should do. Something that always happens with me when I walk past homeless people is another kind of character that helped me through a lot of tough times is Steve Rogers, Captain America. Obviously Superman is one of them, but Captain America is a really big one.
Sorry, I don't know if you can see the face I put for a reason. Anyway, Steve Rogers.
Captain America is a big one, and I always walk past, and I walk past him. You don't really like, because in today's kind of, oh man, look at that, the goat, dude. That's fucking sick.
Cool. Yeah, no, I didn't know. Right, it's the only Captain America thing I just had sitting next to. It's the What If.
Zombie one, it looks awesome.
I don't know. You just said that. I was like, oh, I had that. I'm gonna show that off. Go on. Sorry.
But no, it's something and you always walk past them, and just like it's common knowledge, kind of taught to you that to not really think about them and not just ignore them. But then I always feel like I always hear in my head Steve Rogers goes like, that that's stop there, soldier. That man needs the money more than you. So I always turn back and give them whatever change I have.
That's it.
But that's something, yeah. But it's that, and I guess that's something also that I guess certain character here taught me is restoring hope in those homeless people, because they have tougher times more than anyone.
Yeah.
And if you just give them $5-10, or even if you don't have any notes, buy them a meal. It's restoring that hope in them that they know that it's going to get better.
Yeah, I do that as well. Just get them some food.
Yeah, literally, yeah. It gives them that hope that things will actually get better. There's actually people out there that are willing to help me and willing to give me a chance.
For sure.
That's something that I think me and Liam can highly recommend everyone should do next time you're in the city or see a homeless person somewhere. Give them some change or buy them especially in this weather in Adelaide, it's freezing cold, so buy them a hot drink, hot meal.
So bad. Yeah.
I think they would love that more than ever.
Absolutely, yeah. They'd be so grateful for it.
But I think we've kind of covered everything mental health. I think, like I said, this is an episode me and Liam have been talking about for a long time, something that
very long time
we've been really wanting to do, and I think we've kind of got everything off our chest that we've been wanting to say to you guys. And I think the reason we wanted to do this episode kind of early on as well into kind of this channel and into our journey is it really gives you an idea of where we're at, kind of in our life, and kind of hoping it kind of connects us with you guys a lot more. So then you can kind of learn to be open or to be open with us.
For sure.
Because it's just one big community. We're Smallville here.
Exactly. Yeah, definitely. And everyone holds the same amount of value as everyone. There's no superiority here. Everyone is unique. Everyone's gifted. Everyone has a set of skills and talents. People are amazing. People are amazing. Like, I need to emphasize the amazing, because it's just some people.
You are amazing. Can we just repeat that?
It's this self-taught. It's just. But people really are amazing, man. And that is displayed to me every single day. People are always helping and providing, and there's always in times of strife. It's like with what happened with 9/11. There's always people helping. Yeah. There's always people trying to help, no matter where you go. I think that's beautiful.
Yeah, I think it's great, and I think it's something that we need to kind of bring back in society and the world.
We do, yeah.
Is helping each other, and like again, I've said this a few times now. Is just making us one big Smallville.
Definitely,
treating everyone as neighbors and friends. And
I'll just quickly grab the book I wanted to.
Yeah, that's okay. So while Liam's grabbing that, I will leave off the message that if you are going through anything right now, please reach out to anyone, mom, dad, brother, sister, friend, or just reach out, call someone. I will leave a few links into some helplines down below if you are struggling with anything, or shoot us a message on Instagram.
I was going to recommend you do that, but I'm glad you did it anyway.
Yeah, reach out, ask for some help, because like we just said, we want to help. We want to restore hope back into the world. But we will jump onto Comics Corner now.
Is it okay if I start off?
Yeah, of course you can start.
So, just to surprise a lot of people, with work and everything, I actually haven't had the chance to sit down and watch Secret Invasion yet. I've heard good things about it.
Yeah, I'm gonna watch it too.
But I have read the book.
I haven't read it either, surprisingly.
I bought this a while back. It's pretty cool. I like it. I like it a lot. I think it's a bit of a mindfuck of a book, because I think the thing with the show that it captures perfectly from the book is that what I've seen is that you don't know who to trust.
Yeah.
I think that's just like a really interesting concept for a Marvel story, in my opinion. In comparison to the show, legally they can't include, chronologically they can't include, the characters, even take the front cover, for example. He's dead, he's off-world, you can't exactly get the most, but again, it's Brian Michael Bendis, who I think actually did do some work on the show. I
think so, yeah. I think he's got a credit or something, yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, it's a very like it's a really really just cool book for like just yeah, it's a really really cool story because it's kind of like it almost strikes me as a bit of a mystery murder mystery or like like who done it sort of book. But yeah, I look forward, like I said, I look forward to actually rolling around to watching the show. But the book is highly rated. I think it's a reasonably rated actually. It's just a really cool concept. I think it really, the scrolls are a really just interesting species and just a really crazy threat in the Marvel universe. So it'd be great to just, yeah, I recommend this book by anyone. Obviously, because I love Ultimate Spider-Man. Brian Michael Bendis is my personal hero, and he's never written a bad story, in my opinion.
I mean,
and if he has, I haven't. If he has, I haven't read it. I've heard.
But all his Marvel stuff's great though.
Yeah, all his Marvel stuff is S tier. So yeah, I'd recommend Secret Invasion by Bendis, which is fitting for people who maybe have just seen the show. So it's great to always suss out the source material. So
I'll definitely have after the show. I think depending how the show goes, I'll definitely have to suss that out.
Definitely, yeah, it's a good book. You'd like it.
I think this is the first time ever that we've both had a Marvel book.
Yeah.
Which is really strange now.
So.
I'm currently reading at the moment, but I'm currently reading Deadpool by Kelly Thompson.
Yeah.
Which has been so fun so far. I think not many comic books like make me laugh out loud. A lot of comic books I read that are funny, I'm always like but Deadpool's the only character that makes me like burst out laughing all the time.
Yeah. Love that.
But like you read a lot of comic books.
It's always the fucking Deadpool shit, bro.
It's always Deadpool, bro. I fucking love it, dude. It makes me piss myself all the time.
Yeah, I can picture that. All
right. But this one he becomes the king of the monsters. This one he's got crown. Obviously Jeff the Shark's in it as well. We do love a bit of Jeff the Shark, who's like my favorite Marvel character now. He's the fucking best.
He's the guy. I love Jeff the Shark.
But he becomes the king of monsters, so it's just him and this like unpredictable journey of him kind of becoming a king and taking responsibility like we've been talking about today. Being a leader and all that, but just like it's more so all the jokes he makes are just fucking hilarious. Like at the start of the book he's watching Avengers Endgame,
of course, okay,
which is hilarious, and then he makes a joke at the end of the book saying, Steve, you're America's ass. So I was like, did he just make the America ass joke canon? Which is great, by the way. And then he's fighting Kraven, and all of his friends kind of like go off and they run away. And Deadpool goes, "Oh, now that the cannon fodder's gone, we can start our fight now." That's great. But no, Deadpool's just always such a great laugh, man. Always like kind of cheers me up, makes my day. There's even a part. I will get the page. It's around here. There's a speech bubble here. I've never seen a speech bubble so big in my life. Like, what the fuck? Yeah, look at the size of that. I've never read one like that in my life, dude. Obviously, Jeff the Shark would go. Look at him.
Yeah, of God, no.
But it's hilarious though. So I highly recommend this one. It's really funny. It's really great.
Yeah. I gotta read more Deadpool myself. So.
I mean, obviously, Deadpool 3, I can't wait for. That's coming out next year now.
Yeah.
Which will be awesome.
Bussin'.
But Hugh Jackman's going to be so good, man. I always forget that he's actually coming back.
Yeah, I know, wait. I'm so on edge for that. It's crazy.
Dude, that's going to overtake me with Tobey Maguire in terms of like nostalgia. Is Hugh Jackman coming back as Wolverine. And if he gets a classic suit, dude, god damn, man.
Come on, bro. It's his last appearance. Like, surely
you have
to, right? Like,
there's no way, bro. I will write if he doesn't get a classic suit in that.
Yeah, I think we just
because we were so close, weren't we? We were close at one point in the Wolverine.
Yeah, that's right. We really were. In I think X-Men 3. No, was it X-Men? It was X-Men 2 or 3 with the yellow suit. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh man, so I would love a classic suit Wolverine. But I think that wraps it up.
Yeah, I definitely
for today's episode.
Yeah, well, this was a really, really cool episode. I think we went over a lot of things we really wanted to. It's good to make the audience self-aware of just stuff like this, it's might seem at face value like just like, oh, who cares? Well, we do
Yeah,
a lot actually. But yeah, we are, like I said, me and Toby are equally as passionate about this than we are comics. So
yeah.
we could sit here for hours. We could sit here for hours talking about this, and
Well,
it's
it's
just
really funny because it's always at the end of the podcast after we record this. We
yeah.
spend like hours talking about what we just spoke about then.
I don't know I don't know how that's gonna go. I want to talk to my girlfriend first.
Yeah,
Yeah, like I definitely, we love like coming on and doing episodes with you guys. It gives us a good routine. It gives us an opportunity to talk about our lives, and it just makes us genuinely happy. So yeah, and we are privileged to bring you guys content. We don't care about the numbers. We don't care about the statistics. As much as it's cool to see us grow, we're happy that we're happy to exist in this, like podcast. It's great.
It's great. I mean, yeah, like you said, this podcast has been so much fun so far. This kind of passionate project of ours has been great. It's been getting up, getting me excited every week.
Yeah, definitely. For sure.
And then something that I really learned from this podcast as well that's really cool is that Goku negs your favorite verse. And we'll see you guys next time.
Catch it.